Hello and welcome to another record run video from the Psychedelic Experience, or as we'll be calling this episode, Ask Dr. Van Nostrand. We've got a number of things to show you because, well, we haven't filmed a video since April?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to show stuff that I bought when I went to San Diego. Happen to be wearing that shirt. In April. It is now mid-July.
Yeah.
Life events.
Yeah, hey.
We're in my brand new record room.
It's exciting.
Didn't know in April that I was going to move.
Yeah.
So,
this
anyway,
looks great.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Love the leg lamp.
Yeah, well, you should see how it looks from the street. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna go ahead with my finds here. We are really gonna try to catch up within the next couple of weeks slash months.
About a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There are gonna be some announcements tagged onto the end of this video probably, and so anyway, all of it exciting though, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just start off.
Yeah.
Obviously this first one that I'm pulling here, available a lot of places, but I don't think this record gets enough love.
Oh.
I actually didn't, that was no pun intended. This is Love's self-titled LP.
Very nice. That's a great album.
It is.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I like this a whole heck of a lot. So while I can't say today that this is my favorite Love album, I can tell you that Forever Changes is at best my third favorite.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
Bring on the hate.
This and Da Capo 1 and 2. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Wow.
I really enjoyed this LP. I got this, I think it was 12 bucks.
Solid, that's a good price.
Normal Records. Totally worth the trip up there. Really great guy, owner and operator there. Fantastic. He does a lot of online sales, but the shop is a really cool place to check out too. It is in a pretty neat neighborhood, and I am just a massive fan of this record. And I really think that there's a Mushroom Clouds.
Mushroom Clouds is great. Mushroom Clouds and My Little Red Book are my two favorites.
Very good tracks on this one. So if you've heard Forever Changes, I know I've said this before talking about Da Capo, but if you've heard Forever Changes and it isn't your bag, maybe go chronological on Love and it'll all grow on you because it is all good. I really like this first self-titled album.
Yeah. So I've got some eBay finds to show right now. This is, I mean, anywhere from February through present. It's only 5 records though, so it hasn't been, I didn't get too crazy. First up though, from my eBay digs, here is Sonny Bono. Yes, Sonny Bono with Interviews. This is his Psych album. This is his foray into deep, trippy music, and it gets deep. It is not good. I want to say up front, like, it is obvious that
does
he is
not get the mellow yellow stamp of approval.
It does, but because of its kitsch value. Like, it's Sonny Bono, who is a square, trying to get deep. The lyrics are just ridiculous. They're not very good, but there's a few cool lines. For example, trippers, strippers, hips or squares, divide the line and tell me where.
I'm into it, boy.
Yeah. The opening track, I Just Sit There, and then the track, the closing track, Pammy's on a Bummer. Both of those get pretty deep, and Pammy's on a Bummer is legit good. It's about a woman who goes on a bender and goes missing, and they don't know what happened. Maybe, as it says, maybe someday she'll be back. They don't know.
Another great one from Normal Records in sunny San Diego. This is Curfew, Let There Be Dark, and There Was Dark. This one on United Artists. This is not an easy find, and this is a promo copy.
Nice,
this is a little bit standard. In fact, even kind of behind the times.
Ooh,
you know,
okay,
to do the cover of Summertime from Porgy and Bess by, I think, I want to say this is 1969 or 1970. That was a little passé by that point, but it's still fun. Let me read from the back here. Curfew, evening descends, restriction prevails. Curfew, a home becomes a cage to be opened at dawn. Curfew, free movement is married to danger. Curfew, constriction, silence, worlds of sound and light collide, exploding against the distant blackness of night. Curfew. So they're playing it up as being maybe a little more psych than they are, but this is an interesting record with, I think, a really awesome cover, very non-traditional, of Ode to Billy Joe by Bobby Gentry.
Very cool.
We played that on the show a few months back. This one is worth seeking out. Again, it feels like it's a little behind the time, but if you love that 67 music and a group that was doing it a little bit later, it's there. It wants to be deeper than it is, but you really appreciate the aspiration. So, Curfew, check that one out.
I think this was 12 bucks shipped. The Unspoken Word, Tuesday, April 19th. This is folk psych. And sort of like labeling it psych is almost wrong, but it's a hard one to describe because it's not just straight folk, but it's not folk rock, but it gets a little bit floaty, like floaty folk. So oh, what do they call it? Kind of pastoral,
yes.
that kind of thing. But it's nice. It just, you can kind of takes you away with it. A couple tracks get a little bit psychedelic with some studio effects and things like that. The opening track, Anniversary of My Mind, is probably the deepest psych track, which even by name, pretty good stuff though. This is a grower, not a shower.
Look who died, look who died.
All right, I got this next one here at Record City, which is kind of, I got the impression, the old standard San Diego place, as well as another one that I'll mention here. This is Family Entertainment. Posh bird with a uncovered bum there on the cover. In a drum. That's subversive. What? I like this. I didn't like it the first time I listened to it. Nothing really stood out to me. But upon subsequent listens, I think it's just one of those like, yeah, there's not going to be that killer track that jumps out at you.
Right.
But I really do like Second Generation Woman, which we actually played tonight on the show.
It was very good. I liked it a lot.
There's some bluesy elements here. And again, maybe they're trying with the imagery and things like that. But 60s music just got so weird. This one is, I think, again, also from 69. And I appreciate things. I've come to the point where I appreciate things for their effort.
Yeah.
And they're like, we didn't maybe go all the way deep psych.
Right.
We didn't, you know, but it's good. This is an enjoyable one. I'm really looking for their first album.
Yeah,
now.
definitely. Here's a more folk psych record that I can get behind, and I think you can too, sir. Farewell Aldebaran by Jerry Yester and Judy Henske. Fun story about this, I bought this hours after my daughter was born in the hospital.
That's commitment, folks.
Yeah, my daughter was born about 3 o'clock in the morning. Fast forward about less than 24 hours, but it's the middle of the night. And I've slept almost none. We had family and friends visiting. I'm trying to sleep on the hospital recliner. It's not happening. Get some rumblies and the tumblies. Have to go use the facilities, take my phone with me. I was like, I'll just peruse eBay while
I was going to ask, were you on the toilet?
I was.
Maddie's got the tum rumbles.
I did. I placed a bid on it thinking, oh, it will go for more than that. It did not. I won. It was like minutes away from ending and I just bid on it. So I got this for like 25 bucks shipped, which is a pretty good deal on it.
Yeah.
I go to sleep. I have a dream that I'm bidding on this album and paying over $1,000 for it. I wake up from the dream in a panic because I then remember I really did buy this, but I don't remember what I paid for it because I was half asleep when I bid on it. Did I pay $1,000 and my dream is telling me that I'm a moron and need to somehow back out of this deal?
That's terrifying.
Oh, it was awful. When I pulled up my phone, oh, it was a relief. So, anyway, about the music on this. The opening track, Snowblind, is phenomenal. It's one of the best folk psych tracks I've ever heard. The rest of the album goes back and forth between some sort of like avant-garde folk and some of that folk psych stuff, but nothing ever gets quite as deep as Snowblind. But It is all very, very good, and this is a solid album. If you come across this, pick it up. It's great.
So I hit up another couple really cool stores there. I'm not showing anything from them, and a couple of them it was just because they led more towards punk or singles or things like that. But Feel It Records got a couple really cool punk singles there actually, so I was really pleased with those. I just, no. But want to give a shout out also to Red Brontosaurus Records, which actually, there's the one place I was like, oh, I really wish I had more time there.
Yeah.
Feel It, I had gone into. The one LP that I really wanted to buy was an early reissue of Here's Little Richard, and I came back 3 days later and it was gone. And I was just kicking myself. Just kicking myself over that. But I got those punk singles, so it was really cool. But Red Brontosaurus, last store I actually went to in San Diego, and as I was leaving, walking out the door, the guy was like, we close in 2 minutes. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy, I'm sorry. This was in the new arrivals. Bob Marley and the Wailers, or just the Wailers, I guess at this point, Burnin'. This is an album that gets slept on way too much. And of course the hype sticker here says, includes the original version of I Shot the Sheriff. So I'm guessing that means it's not an original, but whatever. Yeah. It's definitely of the time, and probably they pressed a bunch more of these after Clapton covered it. But don't sleep on Burnin' by the Wailers. Exodus gets a lot of praise. Catch a Fire is my favorite. I think this is a strong second though. I really enjoy this record, particularly Burnin' and Lootin', which of course the title track comes from. But Get Up, Stand Up opening track, I think that's the one most people, other than I Shot the Sheriff, really know. Yeah. Whole thing's worth it though. Really like this LP.
I have 2 albums left, and they are both heavy hitters. And I took chances on them because the description, condition-wise, was a little bit like, I don't know what this is going to be like, so we'll find out. First up, an original of Food, Forever Is a Dream. This normally goes for $100 and up. I got this for like $37 shipped. Nice. Yes. The cover's in really nice shape. I'm very happy with the cover. The record on the green Capitol label, that is the original, it was not on the rainbow. The A-side looks worse than the B-side. And you're like, oh, there's going to be a couple skips, there's a couple feelable scratches. The B-side looks great. Difference though, on the A-side there's an occasional tick on one track. Plays fine otherwise. The B-side, within the first 5 seconds of the opening track on the B-side, it skips. And then plays fine after that. I don't know why. I don't know. Personally, I think it was a pressing error because I cannot find anything. There's no scratch, there's no mark, there's nothing caught in a groove. I think there's a groove in there somewhere that has a little bump that I can't see. So I'm really, really happy with this purchase. I would say overall it plays a solid VG. There's some noise on some tracks, some of the quieter songs. But overall, for $37, a third of what it normally goes for, I am very happy. This varies between sort of floaty psych rock, I would call it straight psych, and sort of like up-tempo, not quite garage, but up-tempo psych stuff. The opening track, Forever Is a Dream, is one of the nicest floaty psych songs. It's right in my wheelhouse. And then the second track, Naive Prayers, kicks in with hard guitar. And it's...
Love that juxtaposition.
It's fantastic.
Nice.
And then
I'm looking forward to hearing this one.
Yeah, the closing track, Here We Go Again, has some crazy like sped up tape loops of guitar where you're like, oh, that was so good. Flip it over and do it again. Here we go again. I see what they did there. So really, really happy with this find and very happy with the price I paid for it. So,
that's nice, man. And then one announcement from me. New record store in Decatur. Not all that new anymore. It's been around for about 2.5 months. But Speakeasy Records and Oddities opened recently.
What's the password to get in? Is there one?
I believe it's Van Buren. It's a specific knock and then it's Van Buren. Anyway, fantastic guy who owns it. Specializes a lot in 70s and 80s metal stuff, so you're gonna find a bunch of that, which I know sells really well around here, but has a good rock section. great 60s stuff peppered throughout, and I picked up there, among many other things, but it was one of those where I was walking out and I was like, caught my eye, an original! Little Richard, here's Little Richard. This is in rough shape. This is probably the roughest record that I have bought since I really got into collecting. It wasn't just like, oh, I want to have that to have a copy of it, not really listen to it. It does play through, but with a lot of noise on the last track, She's Got It. And noise throughout. But this was an LP that came out in 1957. Graphics on the front, come on!
Poppin'.
You can't beat that. And then on the back there, sort of playing on that devil, rock and roll's the devil, this red. I love it though. It came in at less than 10 bucks, and I couldn't be more pleased. Awesome. If it sounded great, of course that would be phenomenal.
Right.
But then you're talking big bucks for it. It plays through. It's Here's Little Richard. It's an important LP. I'm really happy to have a copy. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks to the guys at Speakeasy. This is really, really appreciated.
Alright, and my second big find, another cheapo. Let's take a chance because condition is spotty. An original of Neighborhood Children, self-titled on Acta, label mates with the American Breed.
Great.
Condition,
very simple, but love that label.
Yes, very simple design. Now you'll notice the cover, not in great shape. There's a sticker tear there. There's a bit of a seam split that I just haven't fixed yet. You'll notice though there is a strong hint of Goo Gone on there.
Oh yeah.
I will put pictures of the before. This had a huge piece of white tape, white duct tape along the top. So this I got for right around 30 bucks. And I thought, well, I can do it. I know the hairdryer trick and Goo Gone, I will get that tape off. And I did. This was actually under the duct tape already torn off. I got this right here, I did do that. Didn't quite get the adhesive loosened enough. But for the most part, I'm happy with how it turned out because it looked awful. Again, before and afters will be posted. But yeah, and again, the record VG, it's got some marks, some scuffs, some light scratches, but it plays through really well. And the music on this, for the most part, is pretty loud, so the noise isn't that noticeable on most of the tracks. Phenomenal garage psych. I mean, this is just, this is now one of my, I don't know, maybe one of my 5 favorite records in my collection.
Wow.
Yeah. Up, Down, Turn Around World is great. Long Years in Space is the most well-known track, and it's great. The one track that people are like, this shouldn't be on here, is a cover of Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz. It starts out as a straight pop cover and then gets super deep. I described it on Instagram as, we're not even like, forget about Kansas, we're not even in Oz anymore. Like you've taken us that far.
My takeaway from that is Mellow Yellow's on Instagram.
Yes, I am. Follow me at DJ Mellow Yellow. But no, it's just fantastic. It's all hard and heavy, up-tempo garage psych, and it's so, so good. And I'm pumped to have this. Kind of can't believe I own it. I'm very excited.
All right.
Very excited.
Very excited. So what have we covered here? You had a kid.
Had a kid? Yeah.
You have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram, yeah.
New record store in Decatur.
Yes, which is exciting.
And a forthcoming new record store in the area.
Yes, indeed. My friend Brian and I are opening a record store. You're helping out as well, giving us some store stock, so very excited about it. It's a big venture. It's been a lot of work. There's a lot more work ahead, but we're excited. And rest assured, anybody that has sent VCLT or is wanting to send VCLT, that stuff will never get sold in the store. I will always pass that along if I already own a copy or if I just decide to part with it. It was a gift to me. It will be a gift to somebody else. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And another announcement: we hit 900 subscribers on here, which is what?
On camera, high five.
We'll do a contest at 1,000 because we have 0 ideas right now to do anything.
None.
So if we hit 1,000, we'll do a contest and give away some cool stuff.
Maybe I'll go to the restroom and do some thinking.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, but awesome. Thank you guys for subscribing and watching. It's kind of crazy. So.
Seriously, check out some of those stores in San Diego, and the record scene is alive and well in Central Illinois.
Yes,
so
it is.
We'll see you at the record show, but until then, avoid scratches and stay in the groove.